Hi
guys,
guys,
and welcome to Kuala Lumpur.
Malaysia.
Yeah, it's actually a capital of Malaysia. So we're staying here for a month and we want to show you a little bit more about the city. It's very modern and very fancy. It's a lot of fancy cars, fancy buildings, and we want to show you prices. We want to show you a little bit more about how this city looks like. Is it worth visiting? In our first few weeks, we stayed in a not really nice neighborhood, and it's really ruined our first impression of the city.
Yeah,
Because it was really not nice neighborhood, and don't stay there.
yeah, but if we talk about city center, it's really a nice place.
Yeah, it's not like a city center, but it's area around Petronas Towers. It's actually the tallest twin towers in the world.
And they have one more skyscraper.
Second tallest building in the world, and they kind of cheated on that one because they have a huge. I especially Google how you say this word in English. I don't remember. They have I showed you. They have huge this thing, and I think they cheated. We didn't make a video in a few weeks, and you really lose your skill. You're talking with camera. Shit,
I'm so shy here. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's really a lot of people, and because I'm running an Instagram blog, I really used to talking with my phone on camera in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm lost.
But he's really not, and every time he's people. Ew.
Ew. And thank you everyone who follow our channel, subscribe if you still didn't.
And welcome.
Welcome.
We're gonna have a lot of videos from travels.
So guys, we want to show you our apartments, and let's talk about prices for apartments here in Kuala Lumpur.
At first, I think it's kind of important fact that we came in Kuala Lumpur in the time of Chinese New Year, so I think all apartments was a little bit more expensive than it usually are, because it was high season. This is a view we have. You can see Petronas, you can see this thing. As well, you can see the weather in Kuala Lumpur. It's super rainy, and almost all month while we were in Kuala Lumpur, almost most of the days it was cloudy and rainy, and it was literally just a few days when it was sunny.
Yeah, we came in rainy season,
really
and it's really a great city.
In a rainy season.
This is our apartment. I think that nobody can hear you because microphone is here.
I think this is the worst apartments and the worst Airbnb host we ever lived in, because they really didn't do anything to do apartments cozy. So and today we haven't had Wi-Fi. We use our selfie lamp, so it would be at least some small lighting in the apartments. It's almost no dishes. You have literally 2 forks and 2 spoons. So you have 1 spoon per person, and 2 cup and one. It's not broken, but it's let the water out, and that's what the fuck? That's a cup. That's supposed to keep water inside. Yeah, that's really weird.
And the whole light, it's big one.
It's office light or light in a hospital.
Apartments here, it's not so cozy, but it's clean. Okay, it's fine. But building
as well, building is very good. It's actually the colony Infinium or something like that. We'll leave the name of the building in the description.
Rooftop pool. have some
internet room.
Yeah.
We even have sauna and steam room.
Oh, and we have a cafe in the rooftop.
Yeah,
but
and it's terrible.
Yeah.
As well, it's really rude girl who worked there.
so sorry about it. Yeah, but we really I asked about, can you repeat me coffee, please? And she gave me other coffee, and I said that it's not my coffee. I don't drink coffee with milk. And
she throw it, but say that we still have to pay for that, and it was her mistake. And she always look very angry and not friendly. So I decided to take you for a small building tour and show you the building that we live in. And our apartments cost about $25 per day, but I think it's possible to find even cheaper apartments in that building, or a way more fancy and expensive. Look how rainy there are. This is one of the shared territories we have that here. It's open, so you can see there is no wall, and here is no wall, but it has a roof. So when it's rainy, it's a nice place to stay, but it's a bit cold here when it's rainy. And this is a shared area near the pool. We have some sunbeds here and a lot of chairs where you can sit. You can enjoy the pool with the view to second highest building in the world. And here is Alex. And a lot of some green trees. Kuala Lumpur is actually a very green city. And you can see how green it's there. So it's actually very green and all buildings have something green in them. And we have one more view with Petronas Towers and some jacuzzi and more sunbeds under the roof. We have some coffee here, but it's like no food, a bad coffee from machine, and very angry woman who work there. So I think I'll show you that later, because woman who works there, she's really angry. I don't know why, but like I think she paid us. I don't know why. We have internet room. I hope no one's there. And this is internet room. We have some more places like residence lounge, but some of places you cannot use because you have to book them somehow, and I didn't find like how. We have more green territory and more city view. It's really dark there. Yeah, you can see like how green is that. Even here it's some plants. We have karaoke room as well, but you also have to book that, and because it's not booked, it's always closed, so I cannot show you that, and I have no idea how it's the place. Oh, we have sauna here, so that people left sauna, so I can show you the sauna. And I'm surprised that it's actually working. I was sure that it didn't work, but wow, that's so warm in here. Okay, I'm gonna leave. And it's a steam room, but this one is, I think it's just turned off. I didn't know that you can turn it on. And it's one more lounge, I think almost nobody know about that, but it's also really nice. And it has nice chairs. It doesn't have Wi-Fi here because internet room a bit far away, but it has some trees and it have a roof, so when it's rainy you can sit here, and it has view to Petronas Towers. And as well we have a gym in the building, and I'm gonna show you that. And this is one of the really nice neighborhood to stay. This is a neighborhood between Chowkit and Petronas Tower and KLCC Park. I'm not quite sure how...
I can show you where is it. It's near with Ritz-Carlton. So
I'm not sure how exactly this neighborhood called, because it is not Bukit Bintang, it is not Chowkit, but it's like very close to KLCC Park and to Petronas Towers and all like really nice locations, and the Pavilion Mall. So it's a very nice area to stay, and it's as well a really nice area for walking. And yeah, I think we're just gonna show you a bit of this neighborhood. I think Kuala Lumpur is one of like not many Asian big cities where you actually can walk, because at least in like Southeast Asia you not really can walk, because this is really not used to walking people. But here in Kuala Lumpur, you almost everywhere, I think everywhere, at least in the city center, like in the most fancy and rich neighborhoods, you everywhere have a sidewalks, and usually it has some like this thing.
I don't know, it's like protection from
yeah,
bike drivers.
something that like not allow, like physically not allow bikers to go on a sidewalk, so you mostly can walk easily. Tomorrow we already live in Kuala Lumpur and go into Bali, so it's been almost a month here, and we have like something to summarize and tell you about this place. is it good for digital nomads, and like our review on Kuala Lumpur and why it's actually so popular
for digital nomads in
yeah.
Asia. Yeah, and why it's so popular? It's easy because it's like a popular place for transit, for visa run, for digital nomads.
Yeah, a
who
lot
live
of people came here for a visa run
Bali.
from Bali or Thailand because I think it's cheapest place you can fly out of the country in Bali.
Yeah, I think the tickets cost like around $50-$70 one way from Bali to here.
And I think sometimes you can find it even cheaper, so it's quite cheap place. It's the cheapest place for visa run. Because like I think cheaper it's only go to Jakarta, but it's like not visa run, it's in Indonesia.
And we already showed you that apartments here is really cheap. Like you can find something with rooftop pool, and prices started from around $25 per day or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty cheap, and here a lot of malls where you can, I don't know, shopping.
Yeah, it's a really good place for shopping, and it's an awesome place to buy some new gadgets. Like if you want an Alex bought here a
DJI Mini 3 Pro.
Mini 3.
So soon videos will be better, and it will be amazing because I will do video from like a bird, you know.
I think Kuala Lumpur is one of the cheapest or the cheapest place in Asia, or like everywhere, where you can like live fancy big city life, because Bali it's not about big city life, it's basically like a village. But here it's still cheap, it's still Asia. You have a lot of cheap food, you have cheap apartments, but you have infinity pool on 35th floor, and I don't know, a lot of Maybach, Lamborghini, and really fancy cars. So it's a big city lifestyle, but it's cheap and it's in Asia.
Yeah, but Lamborghini and some like cars like Rolls Royce here, it's not so cheap.
Yeah, yeah, you see a lot of them, like in some mall you came down to the parking and all cars on the parking, it's like freakily expensive cars, all cars. But to rent a car here, like a fancy one, it's gonna be way more expensive than in other places. Yeah, what else do you think about Kuala Lumpur?
I think it's a great place for visa run, but for living, I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't feel here so comfortable. For example, if you live in Bali a long time, I think that here one day it's not enough, because
you would really enjoy walking. You can just walk through the city, and that's so nice.
Yeah, because in Bali you're walking only, I don't know, on the beach.
Yeah, it's literally the only place you can walk in Bali.
Maybe 500-700 meters per day. Here you can walk around, I don't know, 5 kilometers. Yeah, it's great.
And you're gonna like walk in a nice neighborhood, so it's really nice. And our recommendation is to visit Kuala Lumpur for 4 or 5 days, because you could do shopping, you could walk, you can like live this fancy big city life for a while. But actually for a month, it's in our opinion, it's like too much. It's too boring here to spend the whole month if you usually live in some other place, because you have no friends here and there's like nothing to do. You doesn't have ocean here, so it's like just nothing to do for the whole month.
It's my lion. Wow. So it's a great place, it's a cheap place, apartments here are really cheap. I think that if you rent it for a month or more, it's cheaper.
If you want to come to Kuala Lumpur, I would recommend to stay in Bukit Bintang, Bukit Nanas, or Chowkit neighborhood, because this is like the city center, that everything going on, and it's the nicest neighborhood to walk. It's fancy neighborhood, it's most safety neighborhood, so it's the best neighborhood. We did a small video with walking in Bukit Nanas. I googled that, Bukit Nanas.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, now currently we stay in Chowkit, and it's also nice, but Chowkit, it depends on how far so if it's like farthest part from the city center, I mean city center by like Petronas Towers or Pavilion Mall, and if it's the farthest part of Chowkit from the city center, it's not so nice. It's better to stay closer to the center, because at some point Chowkit started to be really like local, and by local I mean that it's very poor, and it's a lot of homeless people who looks like really not fine, and it's just like really weird place to walk. You feel
I'm
super
not sure that
uncomfortable.
it's like really a lot of homeless people because like
It's like way more homeless people than in like this part.
so if you live somewhere near with Petronas Tower, it's fine. Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, I think we'll leave a link to the building we live right now because I think this is like the farthest point of Chowkit you should stay, because I think if you stay far from city center in Chowkit, it's gonna be already not so good. But exactly this location is very nice. It has a lot of cafes and restaurants. It has perfect coffee places. It has a supermarket, like some mall where you can buy grocery.
Yeah, but about food here, I think that food here it's more expensive if compared with Bali or if compared with Buenos Aires. Yeah, and it's not so tasty. I don't know. In Bali, you can see a lot of fancy cafes, but it's fancy cafes, but with great prices. I don't know.
Yeah, they like fancy but cheap.
Yeah. They look modern. I don't know, pretty cute and something like that, but it's pretty cheap. Yeah.